Welcome back, gamers and ghouls. Today, we're going to be playing my favorite game of my favorite game series, Fallout New Vegas. And just like how I binged the TV series, today we're speedrunning. We're going to be playing just one quest, my favorite quest of the entire game, and maybe even the entire Fallout franchise. Come fly with me. Now, I don't know what it is about this quest that I love so much. I think maybe it's the fact that we get to help launch a cult of ghouls into space. Maybe. We don't know where the far beyond is, but we help them get there in rockets. This quest is the epitome of Fallout. It's weird, it's wacky, it's silly, it's got ghouls, it's got super mutants. What else would you want in a Fallout mission? It's the quest that I always look forward to doing whenever I play Fallout New Vegas. So I gave myself 2 weeks to learn the techniques, to build a route, and to get my final time. And what you're about to watch is the route that I came up with from scratch, just playing through the quest and trying to implement these techniques as effectively as I could. Now I'm gonna say right off the bat, this is not the fastest that this can be done. And I know that for a fact now, because it turns out on speedrun.com, there is a category called max quests. I don't know how I didn't clue in before. I think maybe when I read it, I thought it was just the main quests, not the side quests or something. But yeah, it turns out from the start that this route has already existed, which makes sense. It's not a new game. And if you watch the first place run by Wave Clipping, who is just a master at this game, by the way, at the 17-minute mark, he enters the test site and starts the quest. Now, I watched this part of the run, fingers crossed, just hoping that I had found something that hadn't been found before. I didn't. However, what I had found was almost the exact same route, completely independently, which is kind of crazy. There's even this wall clip into the basement that I found on the last day to save a few seconds. It was in there too. But I didn't discover all the tricks, and it turns out that I'm about 18 seconds slower than this run, which is okay. I am happy with the time that I got, that I was able to find, again, completely independently. This was a great experience. It was such a fun way to jump back in and play one of my favorite games of all time. If you haven't played Fallout New Vegas, I very much recommend it. It is, in my opinion, the best Fallout game. And if you have played Fallout New Vegas, try out the speedrun techniques, because it's a lot of fun. This was such a fun experience, and I hope you enjoy. So this run starts off the same as any other Fallout New Vegas run you would do. I mean, obviously, we have to create a new character, but the whole Goodsprings sequence is pretty standard, and we just want to get out of here as fast as possible. So there's no real tricks here. We're just going to menu as fast as we can. The first actual speedrun tech that we use is called Quick Save Quick Loading, or QSQL, and we can use that to skip some dialogue. But right now we don't actually have control of our character. So we just need to, again, get through the menus as fast as we can. The whole Fallout franchise does a great job with their character creation screens. It's extremely creative, and especially in this case. I mean, to start a game with the main character being shot in the head, and then you miraculously waking up a few days later, and then you having to confirm what you actually look like and your name. It's a very unique way of implementing the character creation into the game, rather than it just being a menu at the start. So for the name portion, we're just spamming enter as fast as we can, just all the enter keys. And for the next part, we're going to hit down twice on the keyboard and then enter 4 times and then escape. And that will get us through this menu extremely fast. And that's it. That's our character right there. Once we stand up, we will have control of our character, finally. And we're going to QSQL twice to skip the dialogue. We're going to walk over to the Vitomatic, QSQL once to skip some dialogue. And we're going to set our special stats, which don't really matter for this run. So we're just going to set strength to 10. We're going to back up, QSQL 5 times, and then we're going to help Doc get to his chair by pushing him because he's very, very slow. And then we're going to sit down and do the next portion of this, which sets our tag skills. So the skills that we want are lockpicking, because we need to pick 2 doors at some point in this run, and sneak, because it helps make pickpocketing easier, which we are also going to do twice. Answering with option 1 for the first question, and then option 3 for the rest of the questions, gives us those 2 tag skills, and 1 other tag skill that doesn't actually matter. We skip setting a trait because we don't actually need one, and then we stand up, talk to Doc, leave the menu again as fast as we can, and then we're going to do something a little different with QSQL, and that is actually to glitch through walls. Pretty cool. We then immediately open our Pip-Boy and equip the grenade rifle that we get from the mercenary pack at the start of the game, fast travel to Goodsprings, and then do what's called stop hopping over to the general store. Inside we meet Chet, and from him we're going to buy some sort of special ammo for the revolver that we are about to get from him. Sorry, Chet. We then equip the revolver, set it to quick weapon 1, and now we're done with Goodsprings. So we leave, and we're going to do right here what's called an infinite dash, which is a variation of a standard reload dash, but this one lets us fly just indefinitely, as long as we continue to quick save quick load. We're going to use this very fast movement to discover 3 locations. The first one right here is the Repcon test site, which is where the majority of this quest takes place. But we also need to travel to Novak, because there's an item there that we need to complete the quest, as well as here, Gibson's scrapyard, which has another item. So from Old Lady Gibson here, we're going to pickpocket her key, which is why we need the sneak skill. We enter her house, and we steal the thrust control module, which we will need later to actually control the rockets. We then fast travel over to Novak, and run over to the Dino Bite gift shop here, because inside are a bunch of toy rockets, which contain the same fuel that the real rockets need. The door to the storage room is locked, so we need to do our second pickpocket here on Cliff. We enter the room, and we need to steal at least 5 of these rockets to complete the mission. We then leave, and we fast travel over to the Repcon test site, where we do our first actual proper reload dash. Reload dashing exploits a weird mechanic of the game, where when you reload a gun that has a single bullet reload animation, it actually pushes you forward, and by opening and closing the Pip-Boy, you can stop the animation and it will launch you forward. Now that we're inside, we've officially started the quest, and we're about halfway through the run at this point. The quest is telling us to go upstairs to meet with the owner of the voice from the intercom, but we're going to ignore that and we're going to go to the basement first, through this wall, and we're going to do our first lockpick on the basement door. This little trick saves about 4 seconds, and it looks pretty darn cool. However, if you miss the door, you actually fall out of bounds and go back to the entrance, so it's a little bit risky. Next, we do another infinite dash down this hallway. Sometimes you can actually carry the dash through the door after you do the lockpick. It skips some dialogue, but I got unlucky this time. It's only a few seconds of loss, but it would have been nice to get that time save. So you've probably noticed I've been doing a lot of stop hopping pretty much whenever I can. And that's because stop hopping is about 50% faster than normal walking. So it adds up throughout the whole run. Next, we open up this terminal and select the third option. And that's it for this room. So now we leave as fast as we can to avoid Harlan killing us. We're going to take the information that we just got from that terminal, and we're going to run it up the hallway here, bouncing as we go, and we're going to give it to Davison, who is in this room. He's the leader of the Nightkin in the basement, or as the ghouls upstairs like to call them, the demons. We let them know that there's no stealth boys here, and then him and the rest of the Nightkin leave. And that's it. Basement section done. But before we go upstairs, we're going to open this door behind the desk, QSQL through the wall, open this door on our way to voiding out, which is going to send us back to the entrance to the basement, where we can quickly get out and head upstairs. I tried for so long to find a more efficient way of getting upstairs, but there's no other way. You just have to take these stairs. Once again, we're stop hopping as much as we can. If there's no better route, we're just going to do this one as fast as we can. Once we get to the top of the stairs, there is an intercom that we need to interact with. This voice belongs to a man named Chris, who believes he's a ghoul, but he's actually not. He lets us in and we run right past him, because we want to go upstairs and talk to Jason. Jason is the glowing ghoul, who is also the leader of this cult, and he's going to task us to go to the basement and get rid of the demons. I got you covered, buddy. It's already done. Once we're done talking with Jason, we're going to QSQL once again through this wall, which brings us to the entrance of this zone, and then we take the slightly shorter route back down to the basement by jumping off the balcony here. Once again, stop hopping as much as we can. We just have to save that little bit of time. Speaking of time, I timed a casual playthrough of this quest, starting from Novak with an already existing character, and it took about 24 minutes to do the quest as intended. And we were able to get that down to about 7 minutes, including building a new character. So this door down here is the one we opened while we were voiding out, and we're gonna go through and do our next infinite dash down this hallway. It's a long one, so this saves a lot of time, and through this door is where Jason is waiting for us. I actually misclick here and select the wrong dialogue option. We just want to say goodbye, but apparently I care about Chris in this run. We grab the spacesuit off the shelf. It's important, believe me. We talk to Chris. We tell him we're going to help. We give him the items that we had picked up earlier. He lets us know that the rockets are now good to go. We're going to put on our spacesuit, obviously. We're ready to go. And then we're going to void out again through this door, which is going to put us to the entrance of the basement, where we can once again leave very quickly. This part is the main difference between my run and the world record run. Rather than voiding out, there's actually a way to get back to the surface through a manhole. And if you hit a rock very precisely with a reload dash, it will actually launch you up into the air where you can dash again and land on the viewing platform, which is where we're going. And you can actually enter the room from the opposite side of the door through a wall. Unfortunately for me, I wasn't able to find this particular glitch, so I just had to do it the long way, sprinting up the stairs all the way to the finish line. And there it is. Come fly with me. Done in 7 minutes and 2 seconds. Thanks for watching. If you want to see more Fallout content, let me know. Let me know in the comments, leave likes, subscribe, do all that good stuff, and I will do more because I love Fallout. I love these games and I will look for any excuse to play them. And let me know, do you think Fallout New Vegas is the best Fallout game? And do you like Come Fly With Me? Is it the best quest? Do you agree with me? Is there a better quest out there? Because if there is, I want to see it. So let me know. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.